What's up, everybody? Johnny from All Around Boxing. I'm here with Alexis Ortega, and I'm so glad that we're doing this now, man. You are one of Arizona's rising prospects, man. And when I saw you at at Iron Boy's event, man, when they were doing it at the Mesa Amphitheater,
Yeah.
man, I was like, man, this he's pretty good. I mean, he's tall.
Yeah.
He's good for his weight class. He's solid. He knows what he's doing. He has a good amateur pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to do this because I want Arizona boxing fans to get to know you as a person, man.
Yeah.
So, I guess growing up, in the boxing game,
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, how was that, amateur wise? How did you even get into becoming an amateur or a fighter
Yeah.
in general?
Well, I found the sport of boxing from this guy that used to work with my dad. Right now, he kind of lives in the street. Every time I do see him,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say what's up, support him in any way I can. And that guy used to clean a gym. And at one day at night, he brought me in. He's like, hey, look. He told my dad about it, and
Mm-hmm.
we all went. It was late at night. And he made me move around in the ring. He knew a little bit about boxing because he was a boxer himself. I don't know if he was a pro or an amateur or what the deal was with him, but he knew a little bit. And then after that night, we went the next day and signed up, and we've been with it ever since.
Yeah.
It was cool.
What boxing gym was that? And where was it
It was Madison.
Madison.
Not
okay.
not where they're located at right now in Hatcher, but they were at the Castle Gym.
Okay.
They're not too far away from here. And it was there. It was a small little gym. And that's where I started. And then they moved to Hatcher. And then I followed them too.
Uh-huh.
But then afterwards, it just
Yeah, I mean, you move on.
just changed.
Yeah.
And we found this gym. And we've been here since I was 11, 12.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed here. It's my second home, I like to say.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. Well, you do a lot of work here. If people were to see the ring, man, there's a bunch of sweat. So, okay, so let's get more in depth of you as a younger kid as a boxer. So, did you want to fight? Was that something that's always been in you, like as a kid growing up? Like, were you always fighting, or is that something you just had to come and get used to?
Yeah, no, I wasn't a fighter at school or anything like that. I wouldn't cause any trouble. But once I started sparring in the gym, that's when I was like, that little spark, in me.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
But it was fun at first. But then I remember one time there was an occasion where a girl beat me up, made me cry. My mom always brings it up. Her name is Tisha, so shout out to her. She made me into a monster. Nah.
That's your only loss in the street.
No, we sparred one time, and she was 14. I was 11 or 12 at the moment. Not even. I was 10.
Uh-huh.
And she gave it to me. But after that, that's when I was oh, I love this. This is cool. And ever since, I wanted to become a fighter as well. I would see the fights with my dad, the boxing professional fights. Chavez, we would watch his fights on DVD. And, man, I was damn, that'd be pretty dope to do something like that.
So was Chavez one of your favorite fighters growing up, or
Yeah,
who was it?
I always wanted to, simulate his fighting style, but I kind of grew a little taller for that type of fighting style. But that was a fighter I looked up to a lot, heavy, because my dad really liked him as well as a kid. He himself wanted to be a boxer when he was a kid, but he just didn't have the resources for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's why he supports me so much, because he wishes he had something like that going on for himself as well back then.
So your dad growing up, man, he loved boxing a lot, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't fight at all.
No.
But did he push you to boxing, or is that something that he's just kind of hey, I wanted my son to defend himself? How did the guidance to boxing? Where did it come from? Just that guy?
It would come from that guy, and then my dad, himself, because he liked it so much. It was more for self-defense as well.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as he saw that I was getting pretty good, he pushed it. That's when we started going to the gym every single day. Not missing it one time, and we started pushing towards becoming a good amateur and all that.
So talk to me about your relationship with your dad when it comes down to boxing. Let's talk about just watching fights with him as a younger kid.
Yeah.
How was it? What you said you watched the Chavez fights, but tell me one fight that you really remember when your dad was really excited, or maybe jumping up and down. Same thing you two. You're just wow, this is kind of a cool sport to be in. To watch it.
The one I do remember clearly, we were at it was Marquez versus Pacquiao 4.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was tuning into that fight. We went to our neighbors. Our neighbors were Philippines, so
Okay, you were there, Mexican versus Filipino.
yeah,
Yeah, same thing.
yeah. And then that's a fight that everybody was screaming when that Marcus got that knockout. It was just crazy, and that's the fight that like sticks out to me, as in like everybody tunes in for boxing matches. All over, every people, like everyone
Yep.
around the world, they have a fighter they love, they will tune in.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, wow, having people jump out of their seats like that, that's crazy. That's pretty cool. And that's something I want to do as well.
So, growing up, man, as an amateur, tell me, a lot of people don't know about your amateur career. So, what was your record, and what like type of accomplishments or achievements did you get as an amateur?
Nah, it wasn't a big amateur career like most people have these days.
Mhm.
It was pretty small, I would say. Like no more than 30 fights. I did travel, around to regionals and some pretty big tournaments, but nothing, no nationals or anything like that. I would have loved it to do something like that, but I guess we didn't really have the resources to do that.
Yeah.
I appreciate every tournament that I did get to go to. The support that I got from my gym, they did car washes for me just to get the fundraising to go to travel like that, and that's something like I really appreciate. And the only way to pay back that type of effort from them is to get out there and fight,
Mm-hmm.
and that's yes. But I didn't have any like big amateur career like that.
No. So how come because obviously there were some tournaments here.
Yeah.
Was that something that your dad pushed, like maybe more sparring than amateurs? Because I know how amateurs are.
Yeah.
It's kind of politics.
Mhm.
They throw more punches.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So was it because of that? Was it because of the amateur politics, or was it more of just like?
Oh no, we tried going to every smoker event here in
Mhm.
Arizona, but sometimes we just wouldn't get matched up.
Mhm.
And but I would have loved to fight more, but sometimes we didn't get matched up. Sometimes we were busy. I was helping my dad out at work and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so we couldn't really go to that.
So I guess what we were talking earlier, right? And you said that is your dad in construction? Is that kind of like the type of work that he does and that you helped him out with?
The work that he has, he recycles. So
Mhm.
he recycles metals,
Mhm.
cans, plastic. We're trying to open up a little recycling center,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we've been doing. That's what he's been doing that for many many years.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's what he does. And as a kid, I would help him out with that a lot.
So from your amateurs, right? You got 30 amateur fights.
Mhm.
What age did you become pro? Did you become? I think you became pro at what, like
It
18,
was
right?
18, yeah.
Okay, 18.
Yeah, made my pro debut at a private event in Scottsdale
Mhm.
with Iron Boy. Thank you, shout out Roberto.
Yeah.
But we did it there after high school. We finished high school online, Primavera, and then it's pretty crazy because I almost didn't become a pro actually.
Really?
I enlisted in the Marines.
Whoa. Okay, let's talk about that. That's pretty well. You know what? That would have been an awesome honor too.
Yeah,
Right,
no.
to be a Marine.
My coach is a veteran Marine.
Yep.
Shout out to him. He always pushed me to become a better man,
Uh-huh.
and I admire him. My respects to him. My respects to all the veterans out there. But I wanted to go to the Marines because I wanted to join their amateur team, their Marines boxing team, and that's something I really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got offered to fight for Iron Boy and potentially sign with them,
Mm-hmm.
I would go to the events at Celebrity Theater as a
Yeah.
kid, and that was something I loved. I always watched, and that excited me knowing that Roberto wanted me to fight for with them, and
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
that's pretty cool, man. Like, I guess you are the first generation of Iron Boy fighters, right? That because you've been doing 60 shows, right? So it's pretty cool that as a kid you were a fan of theirs,
Yeah, no,
right?
yeah,
And all of a sudden you become pro, and then now you're excited to even be a part of their promotional company, right?
yeah,
So it's cool to see that because you have been the most consistent promotional company here in Arizona,
yeah,
and it's awesome that you are saying like, hey, I used to watch them when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
then now you're fighting for them, and now you're even excited for that.
yeah.
Man, it's just it's awesome, man, and I'm glad that you're part of that promotional company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you become pro, man. Your first fight, obviously private. I wasn't able to go.
Mhm.
So tell me your feelings to even that day of becoming a pro fighter. How were you nervous? Were you excited? Were you just like it's another fight? How'd you feel?
I was nervous. nerves were there, but I think it wasn't that nerve wracking knowing that I would have loved my family to be there, but they weren't.
Uh-huh.
No friends were there. It was just me, my coach, my teammate Farrad, Suzanne. They were there in attendance, and then it was just some random people just there watching. So I didn't really get that type of like feeling or my family's watching, all my friends are watching.
Okay.
And that's pretty cool having that as to be your first fight.
Mm-hmm.
You felt a little more relaxed, but weigh-ins was cool. I met him there first. It was cool. I think I love the experience. It was cool.
Yeah, the weigh-ins, because you see the weigh-ins on, you see, but I'm seeing like a Pacquiao Thurman poster right there, right? You see the weigh-ins of that. You see the weigh-ins of all these great fighters that you have in this gym. And by the way, we're in Hard Knocks boxing gym, right? So shout out to them. And they have a really nice facility, that you train here. But I see all these, cool posters that they have put in there, and I've seen their weigh-ins, right?
Yeah.
But you've had a weigh-in. Did it feel that, like, just like how you see their weigh-ins, did it feel that way when you had your first weigh-in?
Yeah, it was really exciting. I mean, not the cameras weren't there like that, but it was still cool being
Calling your name, Alexis Ortega,
yeah,
and you're flexing and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think making the weight a little bit was a little tough because I hadn't got that low in weight for like, I don't know, a long time.
Uh-huh.
But it was pretty cool. I really liked it.
Okay, so you're in the ring now,
Mhm.
right? You made the ring walk. That's another experience, right? How did you feel about the ring walk? Was it?
It was cool. It was really cool. I felt calm going into the ring, but it was prior to the locker room. That's when I was like, the nerves were kicking in.
Yeah.
But walking out, I felt pretty cool. They chose my song. They chose my walkout song. It was a rap song. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. You don't know what your first.
No, they chose it for me. They chose it for me. I
Okay.
couldn't choose.
Okay.
But they chose it for me, and then that was cool. When they once being in the ring, that's when the nerves kicked out. Like went out. The ring was the size of my gym right here. This ring. So it was just me and him. Let's get to work. We trained for so long for this.
And so you get punched for the first time as a pro. How was that?
That fight was quick. I don't think I got hit.
No, you don't know? Okay.
I don't think I got hit.
Okay.
So it was 45 seconds.
Okay, so you did quick work.
My second fight, I got hit, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, now.
Okay, your second fight, and sorry to interrupt you, but your second fight, was that the one at Mesa Amphitheater?
That was the one at Mesa Amphitheater.
Okay, so that one, I remember, okay. So let's talk about that fight. You did get hit a lot, because you at first you went guns blazing. All right, so talk to me about that. You get hit for the first time in the second pro fight.
Yeah, I got hit. I was super excited. Let me give him a show like I did the first event, my pro debut. Make it quick. And once I started hitting him, I know he felt them a few times, but he's a Mexican kid coming from Mexico. I'm sure he does not want to lose. He's coming to fight.
Yep.
And he came to fight, so he wouldn't go down. And, I got a little careless, so I did get hit. But it wasn't nothing like crazy. It was just, in the moment, you don't really feel them. So,
Really?
I mean, I felt one, I guess, but that's about it, It was pretty cool getting hit, and then, okay, now I'm in the game. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get to work. And that was really cool. It was really exciting. Mesa Amphitheater was really cool.
But how did you feel? Because you getting hit for the first time as a pro, that's another feeling, another experience, right?
Yeah.
But what is that experience when you're hitting a guy, you won't go down? Because that fight, you were like throwing punches, like you went guns blazing. And as a fighter, you're like, oh, I got this, right? He's going down, and you're like, nope, he's not going down. So how do you, adjust?
Yeah, we just take a step back and do what we gotta do. We box.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did. They're not gonna go down like that.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you just gotta take your time, pick your punches, and yeah, it wasn't super like, oh shit, what am I gonna do now?
Mm-hmm.
I knew what the job was, so that's what we did.
And that was good. And I think you built that with muscle memory, also the mentality you have in training camp.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what a training camp is for Alexis Ortega. First off, let people know who your trainer is.
Mm-hmm.
The facility that you work with.
Mm-hmm.
What does it look like?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm here at Hard Knocks. My coach is Coach Arturo Ortega. We both have the last name, same last name.
Yeah.
They confuse us, dad and son. I go with it now. He's my dad. But yeah, so he's my trainer, and my teammate is Farid Goga. Shout out to him. We train pretty hard. We train very hard, and we train twice a day, in the mornings and the evenings. And the evenings after our training or before our training, we like to work with the amateurs as well. We have a little team going on. We're giving back that way because my coach trained us for many years in amateurs, and a way to help him out is by taking care of the amateurs that are at our gym today. And that's part of our camp as well. I like doing mitts with the kids. We have a kids class as well, so that's pretty cool. And then yeah, our runnings in the morning. It's like a 2-month training camp. It's pretty cool. I like it. I enjoy it very much.
So when it comes down to a camp, and it is hot in here. Trust me. Hey, you're not the first fighter I'm gonna do these podcasts that's just gonna be sweating. When I was doing Fernando's, man, Fernando was like, he was like inquieto, man. He was like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. So hey, man, this is sauna. You're gonna make weight tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
so,
that's right.
Okay, so training camp, right? Your coach. First off, are you guys one-dimensional? Does he teach you like everything in boxing? Is it a lot of strength and conditioning? Is it more mitt work? How do you guys train here? Here at Hard Knocks.
Shit,
Is it like no play, like everyone's serious? Is it
So
every gym's different? I just
yeah.
want to get how the atmosphere is.
In the mornings, it's just me and Farid training with our coach. We have a new one, a new member, or like he's an amateur. He's training with us as well. His name is Jaden. Shout out to him. But he just recently joined us, started training with us as well. But yeah, so in the morning it's just us. Nobody else. It's just us. Hitting the bag, we start on the bag. Coach calls us out one by one on the mitt. We have to work on what we got to work on that day, what coach needs us to improve in, and that's what we do. And then afterwards, then we do strength and conditioning, twice a week. It was 3 times, but we lowered it to twice a week just because we're getting closer to fight night. And then after that, that's our morning session. And in the evenings, we come back, same thing. We train hard, and we try and show an example to the people here at our gym. Their goal is to become pro as well, and we just try showing the type of work ethic that's necessary to do that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
and it's awesome too. That one thing you said earlier right now, you said that you want to give back to your coach, but also you want to help out the youth.
Yeah,
I mean the amateurs that are fighting here.
Yeah.
That's something that's pretty cool, man, because that's your way of kind of that happened to you.
Yeah.
So and then it's pretty cool too. You're a pro fighter.
Yeah.
No. Like, oh wow, pro fighters holding mitts for me. Think about it, as a kid, if you were training and a pro fighter was doing that to you, you'd feel like pretty cool too.
Yeah, hell yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
So let's talk a little bit more about, because one thing that I thought was interesting is that so you didn't graduate from like a traditional high school. You went to Primavera online school, right?
Yeah, I started out at Sunny Slope. I'm from the Slope. Slope is like a few minutes away from here. I'm from the Sunny Slope area. I went to high school there. But after the COVID situation hit, it was like my sophomore junior year, I believe. They sent us home, and then it was all on computer. I didn't like it at all. So I started working. Kind of dropped it for a little bit, but then I picked it up as soon as my mom started like picking on me. And then I started doing Primavera, work on my hours, work on my time, because I was also training as well while working, so that was pretty tough. And then, so we didn't graduate from Sunny Slope. Shout out to all my classmates.
So what year did you would have graduated? What?
2021, I graduated.
2021?
Yeah,
you graduated?
That's 2 years ago from now, I believe.
That's cool. How's online school like Primavera? Is it pretty?
It was cool.
Like, is it different? Like, is it some? Because I seen the commercials, right?
Yeah.
I've seen the commercials, right? So is it really like how it is? Like.
No los quiero quemar, but like I would use Quizlet a lot. A lot of answers were out there. That's what helped me pass a lot. It was quick. It was easy. But sometimes. Dude,
it's online school. I do online school for Chandler Gilbert. When I go there, do Quizlet. It's there for a reason.
The math classes were pretty hard. I had to do that myself. But I was always pretty good with some numbers, so I wouldn't worry. But I would. I would do that. Like I could do that middle of the night. I can do that in the morning. I can do that whenever. I just log in and do my classes that I gotta do, and so that was really cool.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't really like I have to go in at 9, get out at 3 p.m. type of situation. I had time to do other things outside of school.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So, did you do any other sports besides boxing?
I did soccer, like a lot of guys, a lot
Yeah.
of kids. I did soccer growing up as a kid before I found boxing. I did soccer. I played a little bit of baseball as well at a park. I would go to practices there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I went to karate one time. Did a few weeks there. But mostly soccer. I like soccer a lot. I even joined my middle school team.
Mm-hmm.
I took them to the finals. My classmates wouldn't agree though. But that was cool. I like soccer a lot. I still play soccer whenever I can.
Yeah.
I like soccer, basketball. I like basketball too here and there. I'll play with my brother on the weekends whenever we have time. You know, something else outside of boxing. Because my
Yeah.
brother's also a boxer as well.
Really?
He's an amateur as well. So I'm helping him out in boxing as well. But like we try and distract ourselves. You know, it's not we don't want to like do boxing even on the weekends, even on our days off.
Yeah.
You know, we try to distract ourselves. Like basketball is cool. Something I'm getting into is tennis. Tennis is a cool
wow.
sport.
Well, it's dude,
It's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, dude.
Tennis is hard.
Badminton's hard. Like those sports,
Yeah.
man, they require different. And it's cool that you're doing tennis because it's a different type of muscle
Yeah.
you're using, right? And it's so hard to hit that ball exactly where you want to put it, right?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite like sports teams like when it comes down to soccer, basketball, football, baseball?
Like that, I don't really watch sports like that
Mm-hmm.
right now. I mean, I was into La Liga MX, like the Mexican soccer national team.
Uh-huh.
I was watching that with my dad. He would go for Chivas. So, I mean, that's cool. But I don't really watch soccer like that. I like to play it, but I'm not really into sports, watching sports like that outside of boxing.
So what are some like other interests you have besides anything sports, man? Like what do you collect? Comic books, or do you collect like I collect action figures, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I collect DC action figures. I'm a DC guy. I also I told you I coach basketball.
Yeah.
You know? So what are some other things? Are you a car guy? You know, what are some things that you like that are
I love music. I'm getting into accordion. I've been playing the accordion for a little bit, and I really want to get good at that and join a group. Do that on the weekends.
Oh, I like it.
I
Okay, that's
should
pretty cool.
have brought it. I would have played a song for you guys. Yeah, that's something I love. Whenever I'm not boxing, whenever I have free time, because I also train people here at the gym.
Uh-huh.
Personal training. We work one-on-ones, and if I'm not doing that, I'm training with my coach, getting ready for a fight. And if I'm not doing that, I'm at home practicing, getting better at that.
Mhm.
That's something I really like. And besides that, music, that's pretty cool because I like to. That relaxes me. Although sometimes a little frustrating.
Yeah.
You can't really hit the notes like that sometimes. I'm into glasses, sunglasses. I like shades a lot. I don't have a huge collection like that, but I have like 4 pairs, 5 pairs. Not super expensive, obviously, but they're pretty cool. I like shades. When I get older, I want to have a good collection of sunglasses.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
What type of music do you know how to play? Like, what type of
Uh,
songs
it-
do you know how to play?
It'd
'Cause I
be,
know.
it'd be norteños, it'd be
Yeah.
corridos, las románticas, canciones así, de Ramón Ayala y todo eso. I like those a lot. Music I grew up with, my parents used to listen to.
Yep. So, and what about glasses? What type of glasses you wear? I saw you wore like those
It's like
Patrick
w-
Mahomes glasses. You know,
It's like
It's just-
aviators,
Yeah.
the wings, sunglasses, Ray-Ban, Carrera. Yeah, I like those glasses a lot.
So, what part of Mexico is your family from, man?
They're from Puebla.
Puebla.
Yeah.
Where's
yeah.
that at?
It'd be like in the south, like by El DF, the Mexico City.
Yeah, I know that fly. I'm gonna catch it like
I'm
Mr.
a-
Miyagi. That's what I'm trying to do. I keep my eye on it. I'm like, I wanna catch it on camera.
Yeah, that'd be
See that I
sick.
have fast reflexes. But so your family's from Puebla. Right? Have
Yeah.
you ever been there?
I went there once, I think when I was a kid. I don't remember quite, but I don't remember quite. But my family there really supports me because they know I'm into boxing, and Yeah, I have family. My grandparents, they're really they're pretty cool support. They're supportive. They're like fans, I guess,
Yeah.
and they really support me. My grandma actually, when she came here, she saw me fight at the Celebrity Theater.
Mhm.
She didn't want to at first because she was really scared for me.
Mhm.
But then after I won, she was like super excited as well. So yeah, my family there, cause as a professional boxer, nobody like that I believe in the family has done that, and that's why they all find this super fascinating.
Mhm.
And you know, I want to set a good example for my family.
Yeah. Well, it is pretty fascinating, man. You're the
Mhm.
first generation boxers in your family.
Yeah,
If you think about it, first ever generation. I mean, maybe in the past, maybe in
yeah,
like back in the day, there was,
yeah. Maybe
this
that I
type
don't
of
know.
fighting, right? Back in old school fighting.
Yeah,
But you are, man, and
yeah.
you could say, hey, man, it's influence from that guy. Which do you know his name? That guy that became
Lalo,
Lalo.
Lalo, that's his name. He's todo radica por acá. Like he's
Yeah,
around here.
and that's a shame,
Lalo.
'cause-
Yeah, he was I guess he like was a boxer. I don't know if he was pro or not, but like he got into like drinking and stuff,
Mhm.
and that's when it all went downhill.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. So he like advises me to stay away from that, and that's something I do try to.
Mhm.
Stay away from that. Surround myself by good people.
Mhm. So obviously, you had people to influence you.
Hmm.
Kind of guide you to go to this what you're doing now.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't stick to this if you didn't like it, right? Or if you didn't have the mind for it, because in order to become a fighter, you have to have the mind for it, right? You have to have the mind of perseverance, the mind of,
Yeah.
of mental toughness,
Yeah.
the mind of, having initiative. Wake up in the morning, do all that stuff. So, do you ever think about yourself about that? Like, hey, man, I'm a professional fighter. Like,
Mhm.
if someone tries to fight me in the streets, like it's like, it's bad for them.
Yeah.
Type of deal. You know what I mean? Like, how does that feel to become a professional fighter? At such, first off, at such a young age,
Yeah.
and even just being it.
Mhm.
You know.
No, it's really cool, 'cause especially since as a kid that was one of my goals.
Mhm.
What do you want to be when you grow up? They would tell me at school. I would tell them a boxer. I want to be a world champion.
Mhm.
And we still have that. We still have that goal to complete. But
Mhm.
as a professional fighter, we made that happen,
Mhm.
and that's pretty cool to look back at and have that mindset still of, oh, I want to be a fighter. I want to be a fighter. I want to be a fighter, and just stuck with it for so many years. And that's pretty cool. It does take a lot of dedication and discipline. There's days that aren't as good. Sparring wise, you just get hit a lot, or
Mhm.
you have a bad day, you lose a fight. That can also be super
Mhm.
pretty bad. But you just gotta keep going and work through it and try and better yourself every single day. And that's cool to look back though as a kid. It's something I really wanted to be, and now that I am doing it, it's just cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, because I mean, boxing or anything combat sports, man, it's such a personal sport, and it's such a sport that you really earn everything, man.
Mhm.
Because it's the only sport that tennis players, once they're pro, boom, they make money. Basketball players, once they turn pro, boom, they make money. Football players, once they turn pro, boom, they make money.
Yeah.
Boxers, you turn pro, here's $800.
Yeah.
Like you get paid, or $1,000 or $2,000. You don't
Yeah.
get paid like something that you could live with
Mhm.
beginning, like salary wise. You don't get paid a salary,
No.
right? You get paid
Per
a certain-
match.
yeah,
We
per
gotta
match,
fight.
and
We
then if
gotta
you don't fight, you're just like,
it gets tough.
it gets tough. So like.
Yeah.
It's something that when you do make it, when you do
Mhm.
start making money,
Yeah.
you appreciate it.
Yeah.
know?
Now we appreciate it now as well.
Mhm.
Shout out to Iron Boy. Having us be part of their shows.
Mhm.
And yeah, like you said, it's the pay may not be the greatest, but thinking long term, hopefully it does pay off, and it will pay off as long as you keep on working hard, training hard, fighting good fights, and that's one of the goals as well. Help the family with
Mhm.
boxing, but just becoming a star. Like fighting those fights in those arenas like that, like at the AT&T or MGM. That fucking excites me. That's so exciting. I was recently went to Shakira and Oscar Valdez.
Okay.
That was right after my fight too. On April 29th, I fought at the Iron Boy. The next day, I was already there.
Yeah.
On the 30th, I got hooked up. Shout out to my boy Orlando. he got us floor seats,
Mm-hmm.
and I went there. That was like my first time seeing a big fight like that, a big event like that, super up close. And look, seeing them fight, I walked right past them. I walked right past big fighters, and they're just human like us. They're just humans like us. You know, they just worked hard, trained hard, and that's where they're at. How far they've got, and I think, and I'm like, why can I do that? It's possible,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I keep in mind when I train.
That's an awesome mentality to have, Alexis, because that's the same mentality I have, right? Like,
Mhm.
and once you tap into that type of thinking, man, it takes you a long way
Yeah.
because no one's like has special powers.
Yeah,
No one
no.
has like a special mind or a
Mhm.
special way of doing. I mean, they might have a special way of doing things, right?
Yeah, no,
But it all
technique.
takes, yep. But I mean, or like special ability.
Yeah.
But I love what you just said, man. You saw them. You're like, man, they're humans.
At
You
the
know, they
end
make
of,
mistakes.
yeah,
They have
at the end of the
issues.
day,
You know.
they just worked hard,
Mhm.
and that's what we're gonna do as well to try and get there as well.
Hmm. So let's talk about your dad, man, because I want to know how much your dad means to you. I know you mean and he's your dad, but like he
No,
helped you out with your amateur career. Now he's pro. Like, tell me about your relationship with your dad.
no, he's. I love my dad. He's always gone to all my amateur events. So, even though if it's super far, like another state, he just can't go. But whenever he can go, he's there. Whenever he can make it to sparring, he's there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I really appreciate him for. He's always checking up. My mom as well. They're always checking up on me as like what I'm eating, what I'm doing outside of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Always keeping me on point, and that's something I really appreciate them about. You know, they've helped me out since the beginning.
What about your mom, man? I've never met your mom or your dad.
No.
But like I know your mom probably is like, no, don't fight.
Yeah,
mejor
most
I don't want
moms,
him to
I
hit you.
believe.
No quiere que te pegan or stuff like that. So
Ponte
like
a estudiar, me dice.
yeah. Become a doctor,
Es
right?
lo que dice, become a lawyer, un abogado mejor. And I'm like, Mom, it's expensive, and that's not what I like. I don't like books. But yeah, she has that mindset. But she loves boxing though.
Yeah.
She loves going to celebrity theater. But when she sees me, if she sees videos of sparring and I just get hit or something,
Yeah.
she's like, or I come home with a little bruise or something, she's
Yeah.
like, ya ves, ¿pa' qué andas ahí?
Yeah.
Ponte a estudiar, ponte a estudiar. But, at the end of the day, she does support me. Because, it's something I like, I love. And if she knows I like it, I enjoy it, she's supporting me.
What about your mom, man? Like, what is your favorite meal that your mom makes for you?
I would say spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
El spaghetti con albóndiga, like meatballs.
Really?
Okay.
Does she make it special? Does she make it like Mexican style with jalapenos, or is it like spaghetti straight from
It's
like?
like a spaghetti.
regular
Yeah.
spaghetti?
Yeah, but I just really like that. That's something I really like. Going home after training, and she made it. Fuck, it's a good night. I have a good night's sleep.
Let's talk about your pre-fight meals, right?
Free 5 meal.
Or actually, let's talk about do you meal prep at all? Like,
Not really. Whatever my mom does end up making, I just get a good amount that I should be taking. Not a super big amount, not a small amount. Something that's just right. And she always ends up telling me, come más, mira, estás bien flaco, whatever. But I'm cutting weight, mom. I tell
yeah.
her. But yeah, that's that. The meals that I do eat before a fight or something, like the weigh-ins, after the weigh-ins. We have the few past times. Oh, we had seafood the other day as well for our last one. But other than that, we're going to eat some tortas. They tell me, where do you guys want to go eat? And I always give them an option for tortas, like.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah, I love the tortas.
What type of tortas though?
I would say la cubana, asada, or the Hawaiian one, like with that pineapple. That's pineapple and ham. Oh man, those are delicious.
Yeah. Where do you go to get those?
I either go to Los Reyes La Torta. Shout out to Nubia, she works there. Torta CM, Paquime. There's different options that I've gone to, and I always love me a good torta. Right after the weigh-ins. After the weigh-ins. But this one coming up, we don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna let Ferrer choose.
Fair choose.
He's
So-
my teammate. Yeah.
What about after the fight?
After the
Right?
fight.
After a victory, do you do you pig out? Do you get a steak? What is it?
Shit, I like tacos a lot.
Yeah.
Tacos, especially at the Celebrity Theater. There's like a taco truck nearby.
Yeah.
That's what we've been going to, and si me echo mis 6, 8 tacos, asada al pastor,
Yeah.
and then my good big old soda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What type, like coca?
Una coca, yeah, una
Okay.
coca fría. Yeah. yeah, man.
What about sweets, man? Like,
Sweets.
are you like a big sweet guy, like chocolate or?
That's something I gotta get away from right now.
Really?
Can't think about that.
Yeah.
I have a fight coming up September 1st. But I love ice cream. I love candy. I go to the gas station. I walk past the candy aisle. I get something. That's something I love. Yeah,
like what, man?
I get sweet tarts. Sweet tarts are really
Sweet tarts?
good. Yeah.
Okay.
The gummy worms. I love them.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. The slushies, like the ices, those are bomb as well.
Yeah. Okay, so what is one sweet that you just like? That is your favorite?
I don't know if you've heard of the Gusher ones.
Yep.
Like,
Wait, which Gusher ones?
the ones that have like, I don't know, like the
Is it? Well, there's Gushers. There's the strips,
yeah.
and then there's the Gushers, the ones that that have the liquid inside of them.
And that's I
That one?
didn't know how to say the liquid.
Yeah,
What is it?
liquid.
I don't know what it's called. But
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just called liquid, right?
yeah, that's the one I get. Those are
Yeah.
bomb. I love those.
Alright.
I like sneaking those inside the movie theaters.
Yeah.
'Cause they're expensive inside of there. So that's the ones I always put in like in a bag or something.
Yeah. You know what's my freaking killer? Oreos.
Oreo
Oreos,
cookies.
man. Oreos. I'll get a bag of Oreos. I can finish that in a night.
Yeah.
Like I did that for like
Cookies.
a night for like probably like 3 months straight. I was like almost like 180.
With milk or no milk?
Yeah, milk. Of course, milk, man. You can't eat
That's true.
Oreos without milk. You know what I mean? When you
Yeah.
drink it with water, I mean that tastes weird.
I like the Chip Ahoy ones, the
Chip Ahoys?
soft ones, the chewy ones.
Yeah.
Those are smack.
Oh yeah, the chewy ones. Oh, that's another one too. Yeah,
those
any,
are
any type
smack.
of cookies, man. Even like when we go to Costco, whenever they have the big dough of cookie dough. Have you seen that? It's like a big freaking tote like this
I don't think
of
I
cookie dough, and you just scoop it up, you put it in the oven. Yeah, that one I'll kill it. I'll kill it in like a month.
You don't like the barritas? You know what I'm talking about?
Barrita. Well, probably. What is it?
It's like the Mexican cookies that have like it's like a brown and then there's like a line of red or yellow.
Oh yeah. And with cocoa? That's coconut. Is it?
I think so. I don't know.
There's some that will have with cocoa. I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, las barritas. I'm sure people know that
Yeah.
what that is. They come in pineapple and strawberry. Those smack.
So what type of neighborhood did you grow up in, man? You said you grew up in Sunny Slope. I know that neighborhood around there. Did you grow up around that neighborhood? Because I know those neighborhoods, are pretty tough.
Around that neighborhood, I wasn't with the like rich, good neighborhood. I was, I wouldn't. I mean, it wasn't a bad neighborhood. I wouldn't consider it bad. Some people would consider it horrible. I enjoyed it. I had friends around.
Yeah.
I liked it.
How'd you stay away from like any of the bad stuff?
My dad would, he would keep me on check a lot. He would always talk to me. He would, whenever he could, he'd talk to me and he just told me to stay away from that.
Mhm.
And that's something I try to do, and I do. My friends, some friends got into stuff like that.
Yeah.
Friends I grew up with, I don't talk to them no more. They just went a different route.
Mhm.
I chose the boxing route. I chose this route, and I know how to stay disciplined, stay away from that. But yeah, that was all over my neighborhood.
Mhm.
It's not the best, but as long as you have a goal in mind and you're focused, you don't really get distracted like that.
Mhm. So, what is a piece of advice that have you gotten so far in life, like, or as a boxer, or let's just say life, that has really stuck to you? From either your father, either your coach, that guy that Lalo,
Lalo.
or anything, man. Like what is a piece of advice that stuck to you?
I wouldn't be able to know quite advice like that. But well, something my dad would talk to me about a lot is the people that help him at the little recycling center that he has. Like, he doesn't have former employees like that. Like, employees like that. He just goes to like see somebody walking by or somebody goes and drops off cans or something,
Mm-hmm.
hey, do you want to help me this and that? And yeah, they say yeah, and but they're like bums, I guess. I don't want to say it, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're just
They're
homeless.
they're they're unemployed.
Yeah, and those are the people that do drugs, they drink, alcoholics and stuff like that. And that's something I saw as a kid, what doing that
Mm-hmm.
can lead to. And that's something that my dad will use as an example every day, as in, like, why you should stay away from that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that's what I've always kept in mind, I would stay away from that,
Mm-hmm.
That's not something I'm into, because, that's not going to help me out in the goal that I have of becoming just a big boxer.
So it was more of examples of your life
Yeah.
of like this is how your life could be if you go this route.
Seeing the
Type deal.
people myself,
That's
interacting with them as a kid.
yeah. I mean, how old were you? Like when you were a kid?
I was 10.
10.
I was 10, and up until now, he still does that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, as a kid, I would be around those people, and most of them, I know he has a long-term employee that still helps him, but he himself, is an alcoholic and shit like that,
Yeah.
So it's seeing that firsthand,
Yeah.
knowing the guy, it's tough.
Yep.
If you choose that route.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you know those guys, you see them, they're like,
Mm.
I mean, we know how like it is. I mean, probably seen people with how they are with meth, all
Yeah.
skinny,
Yeah.
bums, alcoholics. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy,
It's a
man.
tough
Yeah,
world out there.
how do you get to that point, right? It's like how do thank God that you have that mind, right?
Yeah.
Thank God that you have a mind that doesn't lead you to that. So another thing I want to ask you, man, is you're gonna fight for the next Iron Boy event, correct?
Yeah,
Is that planned?
Yeah, September 1st, September 30th. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but
Yeah, well, it's coming soon in September, right?
yeah, we have like 4 shows coming up, and I'm looking to do all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Finish the year strong. Hopefully I know we'll come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
That's 8 fights within a matter of a year and a few months,
Mhm.
and that's pretty exciting.
Is that something you want to continue to do, Alexis? Do you want to continue to fighting at least 3 to maybe 4 times a month? Or a month, I mean a year?
Yeah, I was just like, month is kind of tough.
Yeah, nah. Go to fight in Mexico, bro.
Nah, but yeah, staying busy, getting my name out there. That's something I appreciate from Iron Boy. Keeps us really busy
Mm-hmm.
with their shows, and yeah, that's shit. If I can be on the show, then hell yeah, let's take it.
Yeah, because that's cool to hear, and I'm glad that you want to have that mentality because all the successful Arizona fighters that have fought on Iron Boy or not on Iron Boy, that's what the method is. The formula is there. You got. I mean, you have to fight in order to get to a certain point, right?
Yeah.
In your career, you either fight 3 to 4 times a year. Then at 1 year, you're gonna fight 6 maybe, right? Or maybe 7 or 8. I mean, Carlos Castro fought 7 times, 8 times a year. So did Keenan Carbajal. So did David Benavides. They fought. At one point like 6 to 7 times a year. So that at one point in your career, you're gonna have to just like get on it, right?
And we'll be ready for that
Yeah.
too. We'll be ready for it.
Yep. And so it's awesome that you want to have that mentality. You want to stay active because there's a lot of fighters that say that you want to be active,
Yeah.
but then they don't, right? And then you have it like, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. The reason I can stay active as well is because the way I'm training, the way that my coach and Suzanne have opened the doors for me to be here, train here, full time, basically my full-time job here at this gym. This is all I do, Monday through Friday, even Saturday mornings I'll put in some work as well. Saturday mornings I put in the work, and then being here at the gym, there's nothing else I do, and that's the reason why I can also stay active. Whenever they have something comes up, I'll be ready for that just because I've been in the gym, and that's thanks to my coach and Suzanne.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your coach Suzanne, or your coach and Suzanne, right? Because how did that relationship? How did you guys even meet? And then talk about your relationship with them, man, because they're super cool people.
Yeah,
right?
no, they're really cool and supportive. Well, I was training here at Hard Knocks there was another coach Giovanni, but then Coach Arturo came in, and well, he took over the gym. He he became owner of the gym. I forgot when was this, but it's many years ago.
Yeah.
And well, we really built a good relationship with them. I was a kid.
Hmm.
I grew up with them. He would give me advice. Suzanne, they're like my parents. I say
Yeah.
we do have the last name, same last name, and yeah, so yeah, we just stayed with here with Hard Knocks.
So, how does what does it mean to have that much support, man? Because it starts with the team, right? In order for you to be successful in boxing, I mean, there's those successful like stories, like a Michael Carbajal, right? To where like, it's just like, just luck or hard work, or I don't know, it just happens to them. But in order to become successful, you have to get a good, solid team, right? And you have a good, solid team
Yeah.
that help you and support you. So, tell me, how does that feel to have that much support? Come here, they're managing your career, they're providing a gym, they're coaching you, they're giving you advice, life
Yeah.
advice. How does that feel, man?
It just makes me work even harder because having their support, you just don't want to let them down.
Mhm.
And that's why I just push myself to work hard and one day, be able to pay them back. And I try paying them back right, like during the week, helping out the gym, helping the people here train, working with the kids, working with the amateur team, and whatever I can, I'll try and help out.
So, talk about Farid, man. How did you even get to know Farid?
Nah, I forgot who came here first. I think he was here first at Hard Knocks, but yeah, that dude's my big brother. He beats me up and shit.
Yeah.
Nah, we go at it, but yeah, Fair's really cool. He's I would say a role model. His work ethic is crazy.
Mhm.
We just push each other during the training. That's somebody I'm glad I have today. He's cool. He's a role model to me, to be honest.
So, when you first met Farid, were you like, was it like an instant, like he was a super friendly guy, or was it like,
Nah,
took a while to
I
like
didn't.
adjust him?
I didn't talk to him like that. I was a kid. He was like
Uh-huh.
what, like 19, 20, 18? I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't really talk to him. I didn't know who he was until we both started fighting amateur.
Uh-huh.
That's when we would like travel. We would go on
Uh-huh.
long car rides
Yeah.
to weigh-ins and stuff like that. That's when we started, talking, hanging out, and we're here every day.
Yeah.
We're interacting every day, so
Yeah.
you know, yeah, that's cool. Now, yeah, we're cool, really cool.
Well, that's cool, man. That you guys train, you guys are friends.
Mhm.
I mean, right now you guys are what, 20 something. You guys,
Yeah.
still young. When you guys are like 50, man, you guys are gonna be like, hey, man, you're probably training at a gym. Maybe you're gonna have a gym. Maybe he's have a gym. Then you guys gonna have amateurs go at it. I don't know. I'm just saying. But the thing is, or maybe you guys will both have a gym. But
Yeah.
the thing is, you're having these memories, man. First
Yeah.
off, you're having your own personal memories. Then you got a buddy,
Mhm.
right? And it's cool to have someone that understands what you're going through.
Yeah, and shares the same
Right?
type of
Yeah.
goals that we do.
Yeah.
We-
And then you guys train.
Mhm.
You see, because a lot of fighters, I know here in Arizona, man, they do it all by themselves,
Yeah.
right? And I love that you have a team, a teammate, and a team
Mhm.
that supports you.
Yeah.
So before we go, I let you go. I want to say this, man. I always like to say this to fighters coming up, man. It's to keep. You already have the mentality, but I'm gonna just say it, man. Keep having that mentality of wanting to stay active. Keep having the mentality of wanting to fight, man. You got to fight. You won't get to where you're at if you don't stay active. And anything, if life just throws you anything, like any stress, man, just roll with the punches like you do in the ring.
Mhm.
Because, like I was telling you earlier, man, I had last year almost passed away, right?
Yeah, that's tough.
So there's always the mentality I have not right now is I could always have it worse. And if you always have the mentality, man, anything that comes your way, you could always just take it, right? Always take it, man. And as a pro fighter, man, a lot of people need to respect this sport and even what you do, even where you're at. Don't matter because you're taking these punches. You're taking, honestly, boxing or any combat sport, man, is like, it shows a lot about someone, right? It shows who they are, like mentally, internally, and how they handle advice or adversity.
Yeah, the way
right?
you can come back after they just got hit.
Exactly.
That's tough.
I mean, everything happens so quick in 3 minutes. I mean, there's that saying too, like it's saying, you don't know how long a minute is until you box. Right?
I haven't heard that saying. That's
Yeah.
That's true.
You don't know how long a minute is until you box. A minute was like, holy, so it's 30 seconds? Oh my gosh. It feels like it's been 3 minutes.
But once you get in the corner and you're sitting down for a break, it goes pretty quick.
Yep, and then it goes in and you're done. Exactly. See, it's kind of, it's weird. Well, man, Alexis, man, thank you for coming and sitting and talking to me, man. I really appreciate it. I really wanted to come here and talk to you and just, my goal, man. I don't know if you know, just so you know why I even do this, man. I don't make money off doing this. I don't have no sponsors.
No.
I don't. I started this at a pure love of the sport.
Yeah.
It morphed to, hey, you're gonna be Arizona's guy. And
no, thank you, Johnny. Hopefully everybody out there watching supports this man. Support us, local Arizona boxers, what he's doing for us, Going to fights and interviewing us, man, that's pretty cool. You feel special. You feel like, oh, shit,
Yeah.
Having a camera, speaking about the fight, that's pretty cool. And we boxers, we appreciate that, Johnny. Shout out All Around Boxing.
No, that means a lot, man. And like I said, you touched on it a little bit. I don't know how I got to this point. Even where I'm interviewing you right now, and then Farid next. Shout out to Farid. What's up, my man?
So here?
Yeah, he's here right there. So I don't know how I got to this point, man. I'm just doing it. Like hey, interview, boom. I show up and do the interview.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how I even got to this point, but you touched on it, man. It's become something that's like personally, like I need to show. Someone needs to show Arizona fighters that they care about them because no one's doing it.
Yeah.
No one's showing love to Arizona fighters. The world, the boxing world is not showing love to Arizona fighters. I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm about to change that. Because we have good fighters, man. We got you, we got Farid, man. We got Fabian. We got, plenty of fighters here.
We're going to put Arizona on the map. We're going to put Arizona on the map.
Let's do it. And it starts with you. It starts with Farid. It starts with this team.
Hell yeah, that's good.
But hell yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let's
do it. Guys, go ahead and follow Alexis Ortega. Super cool guy. So,
Gracias
there we
por el
go.
apoyo.
Cool.
God bless.
Cool.